Yeah, exactly. Like pious thing is in everything, and not only in religion, but like in every community. There's always like a bunch of bad apples that just ruin it for everyone. But yeah, in terms, again, back to, a little bit more of a lighthearted topic, in terms of the sexual thing, yeah, it is something that I still think that is, or should be, acceptable, of course, within people's comfort zones, and that we aren't overstepping any boundaries. That's, again, like sex with multiple people should be something that if everyone involved is consensual to it and have a mutual interest and, thought process behind it, then sure, there should be a thing that should happen, or not should happen, that could happen in case it is so desired. As again, it really, for me, it really boils down to the connection with people. And that is just sex in general. I feel like sex in general should just be something where people connect with one another in such an intimate and passionate way, to really express their love for them. So it's like a thing, where people have to be able to tell the difference between porn and sex, right? It's a very big difference. Very big difference. Now, for me, like in a relationship, like I am a very sexual person though. Like I am extremely sexual. I have a huge sex drive, and for me, it would like get to the point where I would want to have sex either every day or every other day, at least, minimum. That is because I am a very affectionate person through actions rather than words. I'm not much of a talker anyway, and for me personally, it is just something that, I don't know, it is very important to me that it happens regularly, of course with a mutual interest or a mutual desire, so that it isn't just a one-way street or just one way of having something, but it should be something that really solidifies a relationship, because otherwise I feel like you shouldn't be having it anyway. But no, it is something that I'm really like, it's a bit of a warning for people who would like to be with me. Is like, hey, I'm very active. Not very active, but more like I'd like to be very active. But yeah, it is just something that I just enjoy, and I just want to connect with people. I just want to connect to people or with people, and really enjoy our time together, enjoy our bodies together. And it is, I don't know, it's fun. It is fun. It feels good when done right. And like just the fact of how amazing things feel, just the way by like touching one another, like not necessarily like in the private parts, but just like generally just skin to skin contact. It is so liberating though. Like it's crazy just how much that actually does to a person, how much relief that is, just the comfort that you feel. Like that is something that I just really enjoy. That's okay, Chris, that's okay. But yeah, again, like that's why there's a big difference between porn and sex, right? That's what I'm saying. Because I feel like porn is more of an extreme where it kind of tries to present itself as like, this is how you should be having sex. Whereas to me, it's like, no, it shouldn't be like that necessarily. You can do that if people want that. You can do that. That's fine. But it shouldn't be the standard, and shouldn't also be just the main reason of just like, oh yeah, this is why you should be having sex. It's indeed a fantasy, but again, sex should be something that is enjoyed together in a very passionate way. Yeah, like porn in the vast majority of the situations is like very disrespectful and very much like people are objects, right? It shouldn't be like that. But yeah, I just like a genuine good so to say, right? And that is something that should be enjoyed thoroughly, but not in the sense of like degrading people and whatever. No, not enough of that. But again, it is something that I really enjoy, and people should not be ashamed for like wanting that or having that desire. I do feel like sometimes that is the case, that people are too ashamed to talk about things like this, because they will be looked at like weirdly, be like, oh, you're just a pervert. They just wants to have sex, this and that. It's like, it's not really like that. Yes, we want to have sex, but it's more on the lines of, I don't just want to have sex for shits and giggles. Yeah, but you're ashamed because people make you feel like that. But even though it shouldn't be like that, that's a difference. But yeah, again, like I love sex. Sex is fun. Sex should be fun for everyone. And I have no issue in connecting with people, like making people feel good, and make sure that they literally feel my love all over. That simple. For no other reason do I want sex. So yeah, the thing is, we can have that, but I feel like there are very little things that beat sex. But of course, a very genuine connection through love alone is indeed infinitely times that whatever sex could satisfy you with, right? But in general, sex is consistently just really fun to do. And from my point of view, that, like I've said before, it should just be a thing where I can just, physically just throw my love all over someone. Hey, Chonker, we're talking about sex, basically. And the principles of sex, at least in my opinion, what I think about that, and how sex could be enjoyed, what I enjoy in sex, how I am in a relationship, to recapitulate on that. For me, it's the points of, or just me being a very sexual person, the moment that I am in a relationship, sex is going to be happening quite frequently. Almost every day or every other day, because I have a huge sex drive. And I'm not ashamed to say that, it's perfectly fine. And to me, it shouldn't also be a thing oh, you have a huge sex drive, you must be overly perverted and this and that. And it's no, I just like I said before, it's just fun. And I love just really throwing my love all over people. And that is still not going to be the main reason why I'm in a relationship, or going to be in a relationship anyway. It is just so liberating to have it with someone that you truly trust and that you really love and want to love for the rest of your life. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than that, to have that. But yeah, it should be a thing that people can enjoy together. That's just me. That might be, just me. Now, have I had sex with multiple people before? Yes, I have, but not at the same time. So I've had how many relationships? Let me see. I think 5, 6 of them, something like that. But yeah, it was, those relationships weren't exactly always good. Of course, if they were good, or if they were consistently good, then I would not be single. But as of now, I am single, and I am willing to try again. But one, I don't see people being interested in me to have me as their potential partner, because with my work, for example, and with streaming, which is something that I don't want to set aside, even if I would be in a relationship, because I still care about you guys way too much. And yeah, that's the thing. I spend a lot of time in a way where activities for a relationship are a bit difficult. So if I would have someone in a relationship, then they would have to account for me, well, 1, working full time, 2, doing this, streaming in general. And then, after that, then sure. Of course, I will make space for the relationship. I will have a few days probably then that I will be taking a day off or something from streaming to spend time with my significant other, right? But with me needing to work 2 jobs basically, then I have to, then where was I with my thoughts? I don't know. I just have to do this. I just have to work as hard as I am doing, so that I could provide for myself and for my potential significant other. That's why I just work my ass off during my job, so that I could provide for myself. And then streaming is because I want to connect with you guys, and that I want to spend time with you, because otherwise I literally have no friends whatsoever. I have Lunta and my tech PC guy, and that's about it. That's the only 2 IRL friends that I have left. Everyone else just off somewhere. Semfra, I can control the temptation of cheating. When it gets to cheating, though, that is, cheating is a bit, that's a no-go. If you want to have sex with multiple people, even when you're in a relationship, it should be discussed. It should be discussed beforehand, even before you get into a relationship, so that people know what is going to happen. But if it's in secret that you're just cheating without them knowing, and they are absolutely against you having sex with other people, then that is indeed a very bad thing. Yeah, but no, Lunta and the tech PC guy, basically Lunta and Lunta, there's 2 of them. So you have Lunta, who is here, then Lunta is my PC guy. Very chill dude. Those are the only 2 people IRL that I have that are actually my friends. Everyone else just off somewhere. But no, it is really difficult to, like, nowadays to have a genuine connection with people. And that's why with the streaming thing that we do here, spending time with the community as we are now, like that is a way for me to still spend time with people and to have friends, because otherwise I don't have anyone else. So as for when someone is just randomly approaching you, like, I want to have sex with you, that's like, no. Like, I want to have sex with the people that I really cherish, okay? So that's why, like, I'm down for that. Like, I actually, yeah, there's another person. I mean, it's still also a good friend of mine, that I do spend time with, and we are also very close. And it has gotten to the point where, like, for example, I did have sex a couple of times with them, and again, it is just really fun. I'm really passionate always whenever we do, and like, they're very close to me, and I really appreciate them. I love them a lot, though. And it is also something like on a table that I've been thinking, like, hey, would you potentially, well, actually, they were coming at it to me, being like, hey, would you potentially be down for like a threesome? Like, I'm kind of curious for that. And I'm like, I am also kind of curious for that, but like in certain situations, it really depends. So we're kind of like figuring things out like that. And again, it shouldn't be like a taboo thing, but again, when it comes to that aspect, it should just be with people that you really trust and love and cherish. But yeah, in terms of relationships, like, I might try to go back into the dating thing again and see how that goes. But it's a bit spooky now to go out there and just like be like, hey, I'm up for a relationship, and then people are just gonna do stupid shit. I might go to like a little speed dating thing and see like if I could like find someone mutually interesting, and with a mutual interest, because like at a convention thing, and I will see how that goes. But yeah, like it's like a convention thing where people of like the same like-mindedness are there. So yeah, I don't know. I could try and see what happens. So, but yeah, again, like, that is just my opinion on the whole thing of sex and how I am in a relationship. Like, being in a relationship, I'm very caring about the person that I love, and I will do everything for them. You already know about me that I can be very, how do you say that? Like, I can sound agitated real quickly, right? But that's already simmered down a lot, especially considering that I stopped playing League and Smash, you know? But like, that is my thing, that I can get like agitated or angry like quite quickly, but I'm never angry at the person. I'm more angry at the events that are happening, right? You know what I mean? So I can be like, don't damn it, bullshit, but it's like, I'm angry, but not at someone. You know what I mean? And that is something that people have often misunderstood, that I'm angry at them, or angry at my significant other. Well, it's like, no, it's not you. It's just like, I'm just doing my thing. Don't worry about it. I'm not angry at you. You're perfectly fine. I love you all the same. Love you. We're gonna later, okay? But yeah, that is something that has often happened, though, especially during my last relationship. That was a bit of an issue where it felt like I could never do enough for the person, or my significant other, and I tried really, really hard, though. And I'm not saying that it's all bad, far from it, though. Like, the relationship for the vast majority was absolutely amazing, and one of the best relationships that I've had in my entire life. However, there were things that happened that is just a no-go for me, and that was just like, yeah, I'm gonna end it here and there. Like, I will like also get angry like for like the littlest things. For example, like when I have to take out the trash, for example, right? So I have like these garbage bins inside my house, and then on Monday, so today they take the garbage, and then the truck comes around, right? So what I do is like I grab a bag or like a filled up trash can bag thing from the trash can. I lift it up, I go to the garage, and then we have these bags that are specifically for the pickup dudes, for the picking up the trash, or collecting it rather. But the problem with those bags is that they are so fucking annoying and small that you have to, like, it's so difficult to get like any other kind of bag in it to be, fitting in there and be like, yeah, I know that this thing fits, but why does it not stick up? You damn it, bullshit bags. And that's something that I do say out loud most of the time. And I am agitated. I am angry, like, at the stupid bag that just does want to stay open. Why is it like falling like that? I didn't even do that. What the fuck? That is something that I will say out loud, yeah, and be pissed about it. But again, that is why I hate it. And it's not too big because it fits. It's just the way that it is. It is so fucking thin too. These garbage bags, like from the government, basically, you have to have these official garbage bags because otherwise they won't pick it up. And Like they are so bullshittingly thin that it's just like fucking up everything. And if you try to put like any other bag in there that is filled, then it's like, yeah, it rips apart. And then it's like, go fucking dev, you know, like at situations like that, that's what I'm getting angry at. But yeah, that's just like a little like example of why, you know, of like things that I get angry at. And again, I'm never angry at people. It's just angry at like the bullshit that is happening. I'm like, it should fit. I know that it fits. So why the fuck does it not fucking fit? Because I know that it fits. It's just that the way that it's produced is that it keeps sticking together. It keeps folding. It's not like sticking together because of some kind of it's not like some kind of like a liquid or something that is leaking. No, it's just the bags themselves that have this stupid fucking plastic that sticks together really fucking well to one another, and every time you open it, it's like, okay, you open it and then it just closes it by itself. It's like I'm keeping it open. Then you put like one corner of the garbage bag that is filled with stuff, you know, like you put it on the floor and then you try to like put it over like it's a fucking condom or something, and that you try putting that over and it just doesn't want to work. It's like, get it there, why aren't you fitting? I know that it fits because it worked every other fucking time, and it's just annoying. And again, those are like some little things that I get angry at, but it's always like minuscule things like that. Like I'm not gonna be, you know, I'm not gonna be like throwing shit or anything. But yeah, it's just like little things like that. Everything else I have no issues with. But yeah, and otherwise, me in a relationship, I'm very independent in terms of like finances. At least when I'm not getting fucked over by life. I'm very independent. I'm not going to be like, yeah, can I borrow some money from you, my dear beloved partner, for this and that? It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Your money, whatever you worked with your money, you do with that whatever you want, okay? As long as you're able to pay, you know, to help me pay the bills for like the house and gas, electricity, water, all that stuff, you know, and the groceries, that's fine. Other than that, with the money that you have, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But for me, again, other than that, I'm really not that difficult in a relationship. I might sound or look distant though when I am in a relationship because of, well, me streaming and also working and having hobbies. That has also been the case where my significant other was like, do you not have any interest in me anymore? Do you not care about me anymore? We barely spend time together. And I'm thinking, well, problem is you don't have any hobbies. I do, and I would like you to introduce you to my hobbies and, you know, spend some time together, play video games together. But that almost never happened, and that was like, well, So yeah, and then they were like saying like, yeah, we are more living next to one another than with one another. And I'm thinking, oh my god, like I told you about my work thing. I told you about my streaming thing. I told you about my hobbies. Can I please still practice them? Can I still please do that? And that was especially during the days when I was still very active in airsoft, for example. Yeah, they like my significant other did absolutely not like that whenever I was gone, like for airsofting during the weekend, where they would be all alone home and just like doing nothing. And I'm thinking, I mean, like I shouldn't be like someone that replaces your life. Right? But yeah, like the relationship that I had was like 5-6 years, something like that. And again, it's not that everything was bad. Again, far from it. But it was just like some things like that I'm thinking. I just like being on my own too, even though I am in a relationship. But then wherever we did do things together, most of the time, you know, we weren't really doing much, sadly enough. And not only because, well, the lack of hobbies, but more in the sense of there was just not much to do, really. And also, like, in terms of a sexual aspect, that just barely happened anyway. Like, it would actually get to the point where I would just not have sex whatsoever for, like, 2 months on average. It's like 2 months, no sex, and suddenly 1 day of sex, that's it. Like, you know, 5 to 10 minutes of sex, that was it. And then, boom, up next to another 2 months, and I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong that I'm thinking that we should be, you know, this distant from one another? And then the biggest issue that I then had, though, after that, when we broke up, is that they were being super lustful with other people, that I'm thinking, why couldn't you be like that with me? So, like that really f***ed me over the most, like, after we broke up. Like, I was the one who broke things up because of other reasons, but then when I saw what was happening behind the scenes, is that the thing is with that person is that it is, again, like it just didn't happen though. And then again, after we broke up, when I saw what happened behind the scenes of them like sending lewd, like extremely lewd shit to other people, that I'm thinking, why couldn't you be like that with me? Like that is what f***s me up the most. Not to mention, they also wanted to propose to me. And I was thinking, like, you were going for all those lengths, but somehow you can be super loving and lustful to other people, sending such endearing messages too. Not only lustful thing, but also very kind, endearing, romantic, passionate messages to someone else, but not to me when we were together. And that's what really f***ed me up at the end. That's something that I still struggle with every single day. Yeah, that's why, like, it might be weird to say, but, or like very early to say to someone, is that if I would be in a dating scene again, then what would happen is, like, when there is some kind of a match really that we are talking to one another and there's an interest, that wouldn't be genuinely one of the questions that I will ask to someone. Like, how's your sex drive? What do you think of sex in general? Like, doesn't have to be a pornographic thing or lustful thing or perverted thing, just like in general, how active are you in sex? What do you think of sex? And if there is a mutual interest and mutual alignment with one another, then I will then pursue like that connection, that potential connection with someone. Otherwise, if they're like, yeah, I'm not really like sexually active, then it's like, nope, this is where it ends. I'm sorry. Like, you can't be the kindest person that is on this planet, which I will appreciate, which I will really appreciate. But knowing me with my sex drive, that is not going to go, that's not going to go well in the relationship. I'm sorry. But yeah, the fear of being in a relationship is indeed something that I too have though, because people, especially nowadays, are so fucking picky. It's crazy. That is indeed a thing. That is indeed a thing of like people who like to spend time on their own should also be, given that rights to do so. Of course, without sacrificing time with your significant other. But if it gets to the point where you constantly have to be with your significant other, after a while, it can get tiring. And I won't lie. Like it is just how it is. Sometimes just people need their alone time to kind of reset, right? But in terms of a relationship or long distance relationship, I don't do long distance relationships. I've tried them before, and it always came down to the same point of that I wanted to be with that person IRL, but that never happens because it's a long distance relationship. So that's why I don't believe that actually works, like long distance relationships. Yeah, exactly. Like long distance relationships have never worked out for me because, again, I want to be with them. And it kind of puts like another kind of torture really upon yourself because you're depriving yourself from being with someone that you truly love, but you can't because it's a long distance relationship. But yeah, that's why, again, I'm very adamant about that, about not going into long distance relationships. But it's a different thing if that person would be living in with me. Like, that's entirely different. But if it's just strictly just a long distance thing, like through chat or video chat or whatever, like you can only do so much. But if it gets to the points where people actually are then living in with me, then sure, like I don't mind that. Like I don't mind being with someone from whatever they are on the planet. I don't care. But yeah, the thing now is though with the relationship, it's gonna be one of the questions that I will ask very early on. Like when it gets to the point that we're going to be in a relationship, like before we make the official decision, I'm gonna ask the question like, how active are you in terms of a sexual aspect? But yeah, of course, like that is also the thing. Of course, like I'm not saying that sex is like the only thing that you should be doing. How active you want to do? I've already said like 3 times or something. Go on. But yeah, it is still something that is very important. But again, to me, it isn't the most important thing. It's just something that should be enjoyed very thoroughly. That everyone in a relationship has the right to do so, to whatever they are comfy with. And of course that can vary, but that's why before there's a huge difference, like you should always make sure, like, do we have an equal kind of drive to make things as ideal as possible? No, he can ask that, it's fine. Like, it is indeed more of a serious stream, but it's not in a sense that like, you cannot make jokes or anything. But yeah, for me, again, it is just, it's just fun. I just like connecting with people. Very fun, very lovable, very, very enjoyable. And again, I would really like to have that regularly again, because at the moment I am extremely sex deprived. I do have toys, for example, that I thoroughly enjoy myself with. But it can only do so much, right? Nothing beats the connection or the actual act of making love rather than having sex. More like making love with a person, because there's nothing but nothing. It is nothing. How would I say that? It is a really, really fun thing. I'm not gonna say that nothing's better than sex. Like fuck that. Like food is something. If it's really good food can be way better than sex whatsoever. But of course, the most important part that can not be beat is just the genuine connection and love and passion for one another, outside of, excluding the sex part. Nothing else can beat that.